Hi, I'm John Hart, and welcome back to Mr. America Hart. So look, you find yourself approaching 40, or maybe just past 40, and you've heard all these things about the cliff of being 40 years or older and how you're going to fall off a cliff physically and how everything's going to go down the toilet. Well, I thought of you guys here while I'm over here preparing my protein for the week, and I had to share with you 3 big points, 3 ways in which you can battle back, 3 ways in which you can prevent a lot of the problems that people face, bodybuilders in particular, men, women who are working out with the weights. They find once they hit that 40 mark, there's something in their head. Physically, there's also some changes that occur. But 3 things that you can do to counter that. Number 1, you see what I'm doing here right now. I'm preparing quite a bit of protein for the week. Yes, increase your protein levels. How much so? Look, I mean, when you were younger, you were able to eat more carbohydrates and get away with it. When you were younger, you were able to eat more fats and get away with it. Protein assimilation, protein breakdown, once it hits your mouth, then your gut, the ability to break it down and then absorb it becomes a little bit handicapped due to a lower volume of enzyme production. As we get older, digestive enzyme production drops off a little bit. So look, 2 things. One is, as you see, I'm preparing my protein for the week. I increased my protein a little bit once I hit that 40-ish age. Now, you might be looking at me thinking, oh, John, what do you know about this? Hey man, look, I was very interested still in competing in bodybuilding. I competed in the natural version of the Mr. America. It was the actual Mr. America title when I was 47 and when I was 48. I won the light heavyweight class twice. I was interested in having as much muscle mass as I could, low body fat. I won the class twice. I won the overall, became the oldest Mr. America of all time in 2013 at 48 years young. So I kind of feel like I'm speaking from my heart to you, those who relate to me, because I understand what you're going through. You have an interest in maintaining, increasing your lean muscle mass if possible at this stage in your life, just like I did. I've already been through it. I've already been through it. I'm in my 50s now. And so, what am I getting across to you? Strategically, as you approach that 40-ish age, get past 40. Strategically, cut down a little bit on your carbohydrates. Take a few percentage points of your calories down from your carbohydrates. Raise up your proteins a little bit more. And perhaps include, like I did, digestive enzymes. HCl and pepsin. I've talked about this before. I slightly raised my protein and I adjusted by increasing the enzyme activity in my body by taking some enzymes with my food every time I eat protein. Helps to assimilate it. A lot less gas, bloating, easily digested, all of that. So that's the first thing we can do, is raise up protein levels and add a few digestive enzymes. The second thing that we can do, intensify your workouts. If you've been working out a certain way up until now, you must intensify them every chance you can. What do I mean by that? You might not be able to go every single time when you go to the gym and train as heavy as you can or as intensely as you can every single time. And that's understandable. So don't. But when you do, and when you do have the opportunity to, go ahead and pull the trigger and really go for it. Don't hold back. Do your force reps. Do your negatives. Do some supersetting. Do some giant setting. Do some intense things that you used to do or that you used to think of doing in the gym when you were younger. Do these things when you can and get really, the funny thing about it is, as I got older, I was able to pull the trigger and get a little bit more intense with every one of my workouts. When I would pull the trigger, I just couldn't recover from it as fast as when I was younger. But the key was, my mind was stronger. Your mind will get stronger. your ability to generate that intensity gets better as you get a little bit older. So, pull the trigger with your training. Make it a little bit more intense when you do work out with intensity. And maybe not train as often, but you can go ahead and decide that for yourself. How often do you want to work out? How often can you pull the trigger in the gym? So we have increase your protein and maybe add some digestive enzymes. Number 2, get a little bit more intense with your workouts. Use some techniques that you may not have used for 20 years, 30 years. If you don't know any ways of increasing the intensity of your workouts, I have books I've written. You can go to my website, MrAmericaHeart.com, and find the 2 books I've written, Mr. America Shape Up Series, as well as Physique 101. And check those out. I'll put the links down in the video description down below. And then thirdly, what can we do? Thirdly, you're approaching 40, you're past 40. What can we do? Do not bulk up in your off season. Remain fairly lean at all times. Keep your body fat under control at all times. Give yourself a limit of how far you will allow your body fat to rise up, or body weight to rise up in your off season. Most people's off seasons are actual holiday season, in the United States at least, from about Halloween through New Year's, and then they all pull the trigger and want to get in great shape for the summer after that. So some things to consider. I gave you 3 of them right there as you're approaching 40 and as you're getting beyond 40. And to move into your 50s and to be in the best shape you can be. How to maintain your lean muscle mass and how to increase it as well, as long as you're training intensely. So that's it for today. From my heart to you, John Hart. Train intensely. Go get it.
Hey, do you want John to be your personal trainer? Get your training and diet managed online by Mr. America himself. Go to MrAmericaHeart.com. It's in the link right here below in the video's description.